Joined with me today is uh, a wonderful human, a person who has created some great music that I've loved for quite some time now. We welcome Andy from the Eradicator. How's it going, dude?
Good, good. Thanks for having me, Drew.
Yeah, and we're here to talk about your, I guess, is this like an EP or record, however you want to say it, but 8 songs. You Can Hate the Eradicator, which came out September 2025. And I know the last time, so we talked a while ago on my other podcast, that was a couple of years ago already. And I think at that time you said you were almost or looking to hang up the Eradicator, kind of making music under that name. And then this came out. What happened with that shift?
I moved and decided I wanted to keep going as well. So I moved from Chicago down to Florida. So I'm currently in Tampa, Florida. The majority of people who played on the new, I'd call it a mini album, I guess. I don't know. So it's a single-sided LP. So,
yeah.
But the majority of people who played on that are in Gainesville, Florida, and I think after the Forever record in 2022, I thought that was going to be the last one, just because I thought, hey, like, it's kind of not run its course. I don't know if that's the right term, but I felt like it was a good kind of stopping off point, and then just things changed, and now there's almost like a Florida specific lineup, and I wanted to do a record with them, and got the bug to do a handful of songs. So it fits one side of an LP, and figured let's do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really dig this one. And I was happy to see it and happy that it came back. The artwork is wonderful. You know, you got the little black and white, the Eradicator character sitting in the corner there.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, the backstory of the Eradicator is Kids in the Hall. It was a skit that they did, and you've kind of taken that character and now turned him into this hardcore punk rock dude.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Yeah, it's fun to do. I never thought that a decade later I'd still be doing stuff, but it's fun to do. So why stop?
Right. So going into this and writing these songs, do you almost get method and have to get into a different mindset of what this dude would be thinking and singing about when you go to create these songs?
Yeah. So I used it's almost like a note tracking app, right? And there's a big list of songs titles that I'll just think of, like something to use where it's like, oh, that'd be like some phrase. I'll just write that down, and that's how I've done songs or song titles over the years. And so I've had that, and that was kind of something that I've had for over a decade now. And I think with this record, something that sticks out is that this was in, I want to say it was like 2020, 2021 pandemic times.
Yeah.
Our guitarist, Scott, who's up in Chicago, he sent the group chat this thing he found on the Viva La Vinyl message board. And it was this guy that was just trashing, he thought it was funny because it's just trashing the band. It was, I can't believe it, but it was based on a show he saw in Hawaii, in Honolulu. And he just so I thought it was funny, and I thought, it's he doesn't have to like us. And then I was just ruminating on that a little bit, and it's oh, well, you don't have to like me, but don't hate squash. So that was the kind of emphasis of that. And that screenshot that Scott sent is now on the back of the record. And that was kind of the anchor point, and just creating songs from there. That's how it kind of came to fruition. And in addition to, I got very lucky with something where my friends down here play in a band called the Miller Lowlifes, and they were recording with our friend Ryan, who does this studio called Candor in Tampa. It's like 5 minutes from my place. It's very close. And they asked me to do backup vocals on a song. I'm like, all right. And I went in there, and you walk in, and I had no idea who Ryan was. And you walk into the studio, and on the walls, he's got like all the records he did. And one of the records he recorded was Andrew WK's The Wolf.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I feel like with this band, Andrew WK has always been kind of like I don't know, something in the back of my mind that's always been a pseudo inspiration, I guess.
Yeah.
And I looked at that, and then Ryan was awesome. And that was another thing where I'm like, I want to record with this guy. It's like, oh, I don't have anything to record with. Oh, I have this band I guess I could write songs for. So that's kind of how it all blossomed from there.
That's awesome. I actually have that on one of some of the notes that I get some Andrew WK party vibes from the music.
Yeah.
On this record, which is I love Andrew WK. I wish he would make a little bit of a resurgence. I think the world needs him. But the record opens with you can hate the Eradicator, but don't hate the game. And I love when I listened to it, I immediately fell in love. I just love how it comes in with the drums, and you're coming in saying, hey, and then you just get a little tasty guitar lick, and it kicks into it. And it's pretty straightforward. I think most of your lyrics are probably pretty straightforward, but I guess talk about this meaning a little bit and inspiration.
Yeah, I'm trying to think the inspiration for it. I think I wanted it almost harkens back to like the first LP where it starts off with like a crowd chant kind of thing. And I don't know why we started off with drums. It's just kind of like the way that it worked. And the way that I've typically operated with this band is I've always been like I would say the songwriter, and I record the way the band is traditionally operated is I write everything. Whereas like I start off with that note app, and I have a song idea, and then that song idea could be like a chorus, or it could just be a line in a song. And I go into a practice space, and I try to work something out on, I used GarageBand when I started. Now I upgraded to Logic, which is like $100, Mac app. Yeah. And I could write like drum parts on there with kind of pseudo drum machine and like keyboardy, like bass note stuff, and then guitar and vocals on top of that. And I have no idea what I'm writing when I do it. And then I do that for over the course of a few hours. And then I leave there and listen back to it and piece together like parts of a song. And then we take that whole thing and go into the studio and record it.
Oh, nice.
So I have no idea why certain songs start the way they do or whatnot, but that's just kind of the way it kind of happens. And that's the first song, how it did it.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. And it says it in the title. You can hate the Eradicator, but don't hate the game. It goes into late to rise, early to fall, which has like it has like a cool like little like kind of groove to it in the beginning, and then it kind of hits into it a little bit with the vocals and everything. You're screaming and everything, and then it gets, I would say the chorus part gets like pretty like hardcore, which I really dig.
Nice. I feel like with that song, it was, I don't know, like I had that lyric late to rise or the title for a while, and I felt like it's like, oh, someone that just gets up way too early, like a gym rat, kind of like wakes up early, is like, oh, all these people, they're waking up too late, and like, I don't know, I felt like that was a good hardcore song title.
Yeah, it is. And it's I would say it's probably almost like a little bit of a challenge to like, and to your credit, you've executed it quite well across all your records. It's to keep it kind of in the same ilk, but also make it different.
Yeah.
So like, kudos to you. But I was always thinking like, late to rise, early to fall. I was just, I try to picture like just the squash match and all that kind of stuff. Kind of stuff. So it's fun. We'll call it a default is next, which is a fun one too. Did you have to learn, like, did you go investigate how to play squash and all this kind of stuff when you kind of started writing these songs?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
that actually we'll call it. So on every record, I try to harken back to the original Kids in the Hall sketch.
Okay.
And so there's a short list of like phrases because that sketch was only like 3 minutes long.
Right.
So I tried to pick apart different phrases from that sketch, especially on the first record. But
Mhm.
with this one, will like when the Eradicator in the sketch,
Mhm.
when I'm blanking on, I should know this by heart, but when Mark McKinney's character in the sketch says like, "Oh yeah, sure, I guess you win," and then the
Mhm.
Eradicator says, "We'll call it a default then." That's so I tried to take that line and apply it to this song.
Nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was curious, like, I don't really know how you even play squash. I'm not sure. I know you hit something with it, and that's about all I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I've said this on like other interviews or podcasts or whatever. So I, I haven't played squash,
Yeah, that's
which
right.
I'm kind of a poser in that sense.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So I don't know. But I don't know. I feel like uh yeah I feel like people that play squash would like it. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would. And then it goes into build your own world. So
Mhm.
what kind of is the meaning behind that one?
Yeah, and I think with that song, there's a couple, and that's a little bit of the Andrew WK kind of
Yeah.
inspiration, I think. So on the second full length that I did, Peak Eradicator, there's a song called "I'ma Be Me" on there, which is kind of like a self empowerment
Hmm.
song, right? And it was from the point of view of the Eradicator, where he just felt like, well, and that was at a time where I was playing shows quite a bit,
Yeah.
and I was always the oddball on the show.
Okay.
So that was like kind of a song I wrote at the time to kind of say, "Hey, I'm not like everyone else doing this, but
Right.
it's cool because I'm going to do my own thing." And I think "Build Your Own World" kind of harkens to that a little bit as well, like that general theme of
Yeah.
if you're going to do something, just make it your own.
Yeah. That's a good message, and I like it. And now it moves into my favorite song on the record, "My Lucky Stink." I I like that. I'm sitting in a room right now. It's 90 something degrees, nice and
Okay.
humid in Wisconsin today, which I'm sure down in Tampa, you're from the Wisconsin Chicago area, so
Yeah,
the humidity and how disgusting it is. So
of course.
I really resonated with this one.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and I felt like with this one, it was what is the competitive edge of the Eradicator as a
Yeah,
character, and it's like what out of this person, what is it that you can see, and it's like, oh, maybe it's something you can't see. Maybe it's just like they're they the Eradicator wins squash matches because they succumb their victims to
mhm,
their mighty stench. And I think another thing I'm thinking through with this song specifically is there were a couple occasions where I was playing multiple shows in a row and I
mhm.
didn't have a chance to. And I at the time I only had one version of the close.
Oh, sure.
So by the end, they're gross as hell. So
Oh,
that was another reason why this song is called what it is.
yeah, and that's part of the thing too that maybe people don't consider is like you're in the character, you're invested, and you have to, yeah, you got to get a couple of
Yeah.
different things every once in a while, and obviously you're not just going to go buy 15 pink polos right away. And
Yep.
um, how much of your closet now is Eradicator clothes? You still just got a
I
few
have a backup. So
okay.
I have the original version that I wore for something like 170 shows or something
Wow.
like that. And towards the end, there were a lot of holes in it, and it's
Yeah.
pretty gross. And my girlfriend would wash it, and she was just like, "Ah, this thing's going to disintegrate on me in the middle." So I found a good backup, and now I have that, and that's
Nice.
what I use, and it's breathable and it's comfortable. So
Good.
yeah,
You know, hanging that up in the punk rock museum one day, you know,
who knows if they'll have it?
why not? They should.
Yeah.
They should take it. Say no to war, say no to golf. And this is kind of a recurring thing across some of your records. And, you know, talk about different sports that suck. And then like I like this one quite a bit as well. You know, are you a golf person in real life?
No, not at all. And so this song specifically, so there was a band in Gainesville called Gulf War,
Okay.
and they so it was different members of different bands throughout the years, but they formed Gulf War, and then that was in like pandemic times, maybe 2021, and friends with the rest of the band members in Gainesville, and they wanted to start like a beef, and I felt like I'm like, all right, this is fun, this will be fun, and I'm like, oh, I mean, if you have bands that are beefing, what's better than a diss track?
Right.
So Say No to War, Say No to Golf is the diss track for the band Gulf War. They've broken up since then. So
well, you won the beef.
I won the war.
That's how it goes.
Yep.
So where I live pretty close to some pickleball courts.
Okay.
I'd be interested like on an Eradicator take on what you know, how he views pickleball. Probably
not favorably. There's a band from the DC area called Celebration Summer, and their bassist Greg did a pickleball court for a while, and he wanted to start a beef for a minute there. That was in 2019, so I think the pandemic got him, but
yeah. Pickleball is huge, at least really. Yeah. If you're over the age of 40, you're playing pickleball in my neighborhood, I guess, because it's rampant and there's hundreds of people there all the time. It's wild.
Yeah.
Not something I thought would take off, but hey, that's all right.
Yep.
And then you got the second to last song, You Want to Keep Running, which is a good one as well and a fun one.
Yeah, I think that one you know, is an element of from the sketch of Brent Armstrong. That's so it's Mark McKinney's character, Brent Armstrong, where it's like, you know, he wants to keep running away from me, but I'm eventually going to catch up to him, kind of thing. Nice. Yeah, that was the emphasis of that one.
Yeah, that's great. And then the final track is Squash in My Veins, which kind of like a recurring thing. You know, you have I'm a Squash Man and kind of that. So it ends it with the true love.
Yeah. And I think this one specifically was more in the vein of I was going to stop doing it, but now it's like I keep doing it and it's part of what I'm doing. And that's kind of the emphasis on this one. It's like, and also a little bit like you know, the older I get, the more that I realize I want to keep doing it and something I can't get out of me. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I'm happy to. I've been a fan ever since the first I have the 10-inch of the first one.
Nice.
You know, I still am a big direct hit fan, and I was like, oh, I think they were your backing band on that first.
Yeah.
So I picked it up and I listened to that first track, and I was like, oh, this shit's awesome.
Nice.
And then was able to see you one time, not full band. It was just you with the guitar and everything at X-Ray the one time, and I loved it, especially when you storm out at the end and say you have a cab waiting. I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, was that 2017 maybe? Like, I
think it was Dummerfest.
That's right.
Yeah, originally
there's a band that dropped off, and then I filled in like last minute for that one.
Yeah, and I was excited about that because I had that 10-inch already. I was like, hell yeah, get to see the Eradicator, and that was a lot of fun. Do you have any shows or anything lined up coming up, or you just kind of
let's see. So I'm playing in California, which will be fun. That's at the Recess Records Romp, and that's in August.
Okay.
And then doing some local shows around here in Florida in late August, and then Fest is happening in
Yeah.
Gainesville. That's going to be in October. And then, you know, there's some other, I think there's some other like regional stuff in the Southeast that I'm doing. But I think next year I want to try to do more because next year is the 10th anniversary of the first full length.
Oh, nice.
So trying to figure out what to do on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hop on the road or hop on the courts and
Do something.
do some celebration. Do you still have connections to the Midwest or anything? Or
Yeah. Let's see. So I'm actually one of the owners of X-Ray Arcade in
yeah.
Cudahy. So it's like a group of 8 people.
Mhm.
So even though I live down here in Tampa, I do like the payroll and accounting
Oh,
stuff for
fun.
that. So I'm still invested in the
Good.
Midwest. All my family's up there.
Yeah. I love X-Ray. That's it's a fun venue. It's been a minute since I've been there, but I see like the copyrights are going to be there soon, so I'm going to try to
Yeah.
check that show out. And yeah, it's a great place. What's it like? How was, I guess, like going? Because I would imagine the Milwaukee area, Chicago area, like you had
Mhm.
a pretty good following. Has that transferred down? And well, you've played fests and stuff like that too. So I
Yeah.
suppose.
That's kind of the
Yep.
anchor,
Yeah.
honestly. It's, you know, that's there's a lot of people that I've met in, especially in Gainesville, but now in the Tampa Bay area. And yeah, it's fun to do. Of course, you know, it's I think something I learned about it is the tricky part is the touring circuit isn't as prominent down here,
Okay.
just geography wise, right? Like you have
Mhm.
bands, you see band routing if they go on tour, and they typically go to like Atlanta and then keep going west from there. Because if you come
Sure.
down here, it's as long to get down here as it is to go back up, right? To
Right.
get back on the touring route. So there aren't as many touring band opportunities to like play with bands in that sense, but there's still a lot of shows and a lot of local bands around here. So
Yeah.
still keeping busy.
Hell yeah. And you got Fest down in Gainesville. I
Yeah.
was I was hoping to get down there this year, but it doesn't look like it's happening, which is
Ah,
I've never experienced it. The one time I had tickets and everything, it was COVID, of
oh,
course.
that's too bad.
Yeah, so I'll get down there eventually, but I've heard it's an experience, and punk rock bowling was always on the list, but I heard that isn't going on anymore. I'm not really sure, but
I've never been.
I haven't either. So
Yeah.
lots of shows out there, but yeah, I would say the Eradicator is definitely. And you're doing whole band shows in Florida and in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah. A bunch of people are flying out. Actually, the California trip is going to be the melding of Milwaukee and Gainesville crews.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Steve, who played in Direct Hit, he's going to
Yep.
play guitar for us, and then the rest of the backing band is Gainesville based.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good to have that. Have you, with having like different kind of band members over the years, has it been easy to to incorporate new people, or
Oh, I mean, it's something that has been crazy over the years, where because the way that I started, I so the first 2 shows were full band, and that was the lineup that played on the 10-inch record,
Mhm.
the very first record. And then I remember the 3rd show that I got offered was Kyle, who does Soothsayer Hot Sauce in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah, yeah,
He was doing a show, and I wanted to play it, and then none of the other band members were able to do it. And I'm like, I just want to play this. So that was the first solo show
yeah.
where I'm like, I'm gonna figure this out. It's gonna be an Adam in his package style thing. I'm gonna play to a drum machine and like
Mhm.
keyboardy bass stuff. And that was the first solo show that I did. And then I'm like, well, I want to keep going. If the other band members can't do it, then I'm just gonna play solo. And then I played solo at different places, and then people would see me and be like, oh, if you ever want to do something, we'll just learn your songs and then you could sing, and then we'll play backing band for it.
That's great.
And I think I've done that with maybe like a dozen different lineups over the
That's cool.
years.
That's good. I mean, it's good to have those connections and to build a community, and it also, shows the impact of the music and how people love it. I really think it's a lot of fun, and it's definitely worth getting out there. How can people follow you and see,
Yeah.
shows and all that good stuff?
Yeah. Let's see. So I got banned from Facebook recently for
Really?
celebrity impersonator. So don't go on there, but go out. It's on Instagram, which I know is just, the other side of a bad coin. And so that's Instagram, but also under the Eradicator, and then the eradicatorband.com is the website. And then I think it's eradicator.bandcamp.com for everything else.
Yeah, definitely check out the music and pick up a record. You won't regret it. It's a lot of fun. Andy, I appreciate you hopping on and talking a little bit.
Absolutely. Thank you, Drew. Thanks for having me.